In this podcast episode, former CIA analyst Martin Gurri delves into the complexities of modern media manipulation, the political landscape shaped by figures like Trump and Obama, and the implications of emerging technologies like AI. Gurri's insights provide a nuanced understanding of the current socio-political climate, characterized by fragmentation and distrust in traditional institutions. Gurri begins by asserting that almost all communications today can be viewed as a form of propaganda. He emphasizes that the relationship between humans and truth has become increasingly tenuous, particularly in the digital age. The advent of the internet has led to an overwhelming influx of information, which has fundamentally altered how people perceive and interact with the world around them. Unlike the era dominated by a few authoritative sources, the digital landscape is characterized by a cacophony of voices, each vying for attention. This shift has resulted in a society where trust in institutions is at an all-time low. Gurri notes that the narratives that once held society together are now disintegrating, leading to widespread confusion and disillusionment. The challenge lies in navigating this chaotic environment, where individuals must discern truth from falsehood amidst a sea of competing narratives. Gurri argues that this moment in history is unlike any other, as the very fabric of societal cohesion is being tested. Gurri reflects on the transformative power of the internet, likening its impact to a tsunami that has reshaped the media landscape. He recalls his time at the CIA, where monitoring a few authoritative sources was relatively straightforward. However, the explosion of digital content has created a complex web of information that is difficult to navigate. This shift has not only led to increased social and political turbulence, but has also given rise to movements like the Arab Spring, which emerged from the digital realm into the physical world. Looking ahead, Gurri expresses concern about the role of artificial intelligence in this evolving landscape. While AI has the potential to enhance communication and streamline processes, it also poses risks, particularly if it becomes monopolized by powerful entities. Gurri advocates for a decentralized approach to AI, where diverse voices can contribute to its development and application. He believes that fostering an environment where individuals can engage with AI will ultimately lead to more democratic outcomes. As Gurri discusses the current state of institutions, he highlights a pervasive sense of panic among elites. The traditional structures that once provided stability are now crumbling, leading to a crisis of confidence in leadership. This erosion of trust is not merely a reaction to specific events, but reflects a broader disillusionment with the systems that govern society. Gurri argues that this moment of upheaval presents an opportunity for reimagining governance and fostering more democratic practices. He emphasizes that the collapse of trust is not uniform. It varies across different demographics and regions. While some may feel empowered to challenge the status quo, others may retreat into echo chambers that reinforce their beliefs. This fragmentation complicates the ability to forge a shared understanding of truth, making it increasingly difficult for democratic processes to function effectively. Gurri posits that the path forward requires a collective effort to rebuild trust and establish new frameworks for governance. Gurri offers a nuanced perspective on Donald Trump, describing him as a political mutant who has adapted to the chaotic landscape of modern politics. He argues that Trump is not merely a symptom of existing issues, but represents a fundamental shift in how political discourse is conducted. Trump's rise to prominence can be attributed to his ability to tap into the anger and frustration of many Americans, positioning himself as an outsider, challenging the established order. Despite the controversies surrounding Trump, Gurri contends that he has effectively harnessed the power of social media to amplify his message. By engaging directly with his supporters, Trump has circumvented traditional media channels, allowing him to shape narratives on his own terms. This approach has not only energized his base, but has also provoked intense reactions from his opponents, further polarizing the political landscape. In contrast to Trump, Gurri examines the legacy of Barack Obama, whom he refers to as the chief negator. Obama's presidency was marked by a focus on highlighting societal issues without necessarily proposing concrete solutions. Gurri argues that this approach resonated with many voters who felt disillusioned by the status quo. However, it also contributed to a culture of negation where criticism of existing systems became more prevalent than constructive dialogue about alternatives. Gurri suggests that Obama's ability to articulate the frustrations of various communities allowed him to maintain a strong connection with his base. However, this connection was ultimately challenged by the realities of governance, particularly after the loss of a governing majority in 2010. The result was a presidency characterized by a constant struggle to address the very issues he had brought to light, leading to a sense of frustration among his supporters. A recurring theme in the podcast is the role of anger in contemporary discourse. Gurri posits that the internet has created an environment where anger is often the loudest voice in the room. This phenomenon can be attributed to the structural dynamics of online communication, where individuals compete for attention by expressing extreme views. As a result, anger becomes a rhetorical tool that can galvanize support and foster a sense of community among like-minded individuals. Gurri acknowledges that, while there are genuine grievances driving this anger, it is often amplified by the nature of online interactions. The anonymity and distance provided by the internet allow individuals to express their frustrations without facing immediate consequences. This dynamic can lead to a cycle of escalating anger where individuals feel compelled to respond in kind, further entrenching divisions within society. As Gurri contemplates the future of democracy, he emphasizes the need for adaptation in response to the challenges posed by the digital age. He argues that traditional democratic structures may not be equipped to handle the complexities of modern communication. Instead, there is an opportunity to reimagine governance in a way that is more responsive to the needs of citizens. Gurri envisions a future where democracy is enhanced by technology, allowing for more direct engagement between citizens and their representatives. He believes that the digital landscape can facilitate a more participatory form of governance, where individuals have a greater say in decision-making processes. However, achieving this vision will require a concerted effort to rebuild trust in institutions and foster a culture of collaboration. A significant aspect of the discussion revolves around the concept of free speech. Gurri identifies himself as a free speech absolutist, arguing that attempts to regulate speech often lead to unintended consequences. He cautions against the impulse to censor voices deemed harmful, as this can create a slippery slope that ultimately undermines the very principles of democracy. Gurri acknowledges the challenges posed by misinformation and harmful rhetoric, but emphasizes the importance of allowing diverse perspectives to coexist. He believes that fostering an environment where individuals can engage with differing viewpoints is essential for a healthy democratic society. By encouraging open dialogue, society can better navigate the complexities of modern communication and work towards shared understanding. As the conversation shifts to artificial intelligence, Gurri expresses both optimism and caution regarding its potential impact. He acknowledges that AI can revolutionize various sectors, from agriculture to education, by enhancing efficiency and accessibility. However, he also warns against the dangers of monopolization, where a few powerful entities control the development and application of AI technologies. Gurri advocates for a decentralized approach to AI, where diverse voices can contribute to its evolution. He believes that empowering individuals to engage with AI will lead to more equitable outcomes and foster innovation. By democratizing access to AI, society can harness its potential to address pressing challenges while mitigating the risks associated with concentrated power. In discussing innovative governance models, Gurri introduces the concepts of charter cities and network states. Charter cities represent a way to experiment with governance on a smaller scale, allowing communities to establish their own rules and regulations. This approach can foster competition among cities, encouraging them to adopt best practices and respond to the needs of their residents. Network states, on the other hand, envision a decentralized form of governance that transcends traditional borders. Gurri highlights the potential for these models to empower individuals and communities, allowing them to govern themselves according to shared values and interests. While both concepts are still in their infancy, they represent a shift towards more flexible and adaptive governance structures that can better respond to the complexities of modern society. Finally, Gurri offers insights into how individuals can navigate the fragmented landscape of truth. He emphasizes the importance of understanding the frameworks within which information is presented, rather than simply categorizing it as true or false. By critically analyzing the intent behind messages and the context in which they are delivered, individuals can develop a more nuanced understanding of the information they encounter. Gurri encourages listeners to focus on their immediate communities and relationships, as these often provide a clearer sense of reality than the broader political discourse. By engaging with the world around them and fostering meaningful connections, individuals can cultivate a more grounded perspective that transcends the noise of the digital landscape.